So today is all about we're going to take Google Console into a different level. We're going to go deeper with Google Console here. Okay, so this is in particular what you can do with it. So first off, you've got your overview. This will tell you how many web search clicks you're getting. This is per day. You can see it's for about the past 3 months. When you get into performance, this is where you can really get good information. So one of the things I love to do, and this is only available if you've had Google Search Console synced up to your account for whatever time period, but you go into more and click custom. You're going to click compare and I love doing the last 3 months year over year. And so like this client right here, he wasn't doing SEO last year. So at this time, 3 months ago versus the same 3 months ago last year, he was at 584 total clicks. Nobody was finding him. So he had 18 or 584 impressions, 18 clicks. And you can see this past 3 months, he had 17.8 thousand total impressions, 214 clicks. So it's a world of difference. But what you can do is you can unselect this. You can add your average click-through rate. Now here's something. This 3.3 click-through rate is phenomenal for a website. If you got it somewhere around 1%, that's really good. Anything above 1% is good. The click-through rate is going to be affected by your meta tag information. So your titles, your descriptions, and all that. That's where the click-through rate comes through. It does come through with some pictures also, but predominantly that. All right, so he was at 8.4% last year, so he was better, but you gotta remember those numbers. 584, 18 for in 18 clicks, so we're at a whole lot more. This is still phenomenal. So anyway, you can add that data back in if you want, whatever you want to do. Where you really get some gold here is scroll down and look at how people are finding you. So usually your first one is people are going to be Googling your business name, and that's how they're going to be finding you. Then, of course, if you don't have your keywords like bounce house rentals and waterside rentals, that's a problem. So that's going to be some of your big searches. And then also, these are, this is obviously how customers are finding you. So bounce house rentals in Melbourne, Florida, bounce house rentals near me. And the list goes on and on, guys. We're in the slower season right now when I'm showing you this video. So obviously, he's not showing up for water slide rentals because nobody's searching that. These are what people are searching in this time period. This is what I love about Google, is Google is so smart. So anyway, he does phone parties. He does, I don't know, people probably call him that a bubble house. Anyway, I don't want to get too much into depth with this. You can really find a lot of good information. All right, so let's jump down to pages. So you've got not indexed and you've got indexed. Now, what we want to look at, I'm going to focus on not indexed, but let me show you indexed real quick. So what you can do is you can view the data about your indexed pages. This is going to show you your top ones. So it's going to show you what is indexed. Let's click 100. He's got about 70 websites or 70 web pages indexed, which is good. For a website like mine, I've got like 220. So it varies. You might have as little as 5. You might have as many as 1,000. Bounce House Atlanta has like over 1,000 or something like that. I forget the exact number, but you can see that we've got him tents. You can see all these tail end keywords for his titles is what we've got indexed. But that's important information. Let's go back to non-indexed because that's where I want to show you. This is where how you clean up Google and you build trust with Google, and they're showing you that what you're doing is working. They're making your website. You are making your website more relevant with this via the way we're doing this. So 404 is a really good one to check out first. This just happens naturally when you're creating website pages for like city landing pages like this one right here, Palm Bay Tent Table and Chair Rentals. That's a major that's a major keyword search, then my question is, why isn't this going? And so what I would do, I would click it on this right here, open a new tab, page not found. Sometimes Google has this wrong. If this page was legit and it was found and there wasn't a problem, then I would go back to, let me exit out of this. Then I would go back to, if the page was legit, everything was good, click on that magnifying glass, you're going to inspect URL. That's what you would do with the next step. But this one right here, I fixed it on ERS side or IO, whatever side you're on. I've already fixed this. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that to the clipboard, and then you're going to go down to removals. And then you're going to do click new request. You're going to paste that URL in there. Remove this URL only. I've never done URLs with this prefix. I guess if you're doing a big mass reduction of pages, you're never going to use that. And then you're going to go next. Now, just a heads up, you're going to submit request. This is going to say this is already duplicate. I know that because I've already done this work, because I wanted to show you the next step after this. Once you do this, this is going to be status. It's going to be like in review, or it's going to say something like that. That takes 24 to 36 hours for Google to go through and update this, okay? So I've already done all these 404s. I fixed it on the website end to make sure, like see this one right here, Brevard County House Rentals. I forgot to put the word bounce. Well, I obviously fixed that on the client's website. So I don't want this in there. So I did a removal on it. So the easiest way to do this also is keep you open 2 website pages and be it both under Google Search Console. That way you can copy it from one page. You don't got to jump back like I'm about to do here. Once you do this, and once you get into the removal status where it says temporarily removed, then what you're going to do after that 24 to 36 hours, once it's showing, go back to your non-index pages, go down and find your 404 codes, and then you see how they're still here? What you've got to do is we have fixed these. So now what we want to do is we want to do validate fix. Guys, on a side note, this is why people charge so much for SEO. It's because it does take time. The technical issues, they're a little bit difficult, but you can learn it. If you got this far in this video, you are one of the 5%. Most people won't even watch this video, all right? So props to you. Pat yourself on the back. We're going to validate the fix. We're going to process the status update. They says these pages aren't indexed or served on Google. So anyway, validation started. That's what I'm looking for, guys. Validation started 2/14/25. It is Valentine's Day down here on this day when we're recording this. So validation started. So in the same regards, probably within 24 hours, I'm going to come back here to this pages. I'm going to go to the non-indexed. Now I'm going to go to the 404 error codes. And my goal when I'm doing that is under here, I'm hoping to see 0 pages. You want to always fix these 404 error codes. You don't want that to accumulate, okay? So you can do the same thing. Go with redirect errors. Is you can go through pages with redirect, but you want to go through these and you want to figure out why they are not working. All right, so now here's another one, a crawled but currently not indexed. This is going to show you some really good information also, that like this right here, I want that Palm Bay water slide rentals, I want that to be indexed. So I'm going to click on the page. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to make sure, yeah, everything's good. My web page looks good. So I know it's good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on that magnifying glass. I'm going to retrieve the data from Google, and then you click on the test live URL. This sometimes takes 30 seconds or whatever, but you're going to test this. It's going to come up that the URL is not currently indexed, but it's available. And what we're going to do is we're going to click on the request indexing. Now, if you didn't double check the page and it's not like that web address doesn't take Google to anything, they're going to say, no, that link is no good. So that tells you got a problem on your website end that you need to figure out. So what we're going to do is we're going to click request indexing. You're going to submit the index request. And then you just got to wait. You're on Google's time now, okay? So you just got to wait. So let's go back. You can see how this can be monotonous, but go back to the non-indexed, crawled but currently not indexed. Go back to this. We've already done Palm Bay water slides. Now this right here, I do not want Google to, this is an item, okay? So the Jelly Ball Nighttime 1 hour party, 10 players, that's an item. I don't need Google to index that. Don't wear out your welcome with Google. Don't tell them to index it when you don't need it indexed. You don't need that index. You got your Jelly Ball category or your foam party category, whatever the main category, you want that indexed. All right, so book an event. We don't need that. 62-foot Bahama obstacle course slide. Here's a thing to remember. You only need to request indexing if that is what somebody is searching. Your customers are not searching for 62-foot Bahama obstacle course slide. Now they might be searching obstacle course slide, but you need to go after that with just general content in your city landing pages and in some of your keyword manufacturing. Same thing with the Island Flow wraparound obstacle course. That's an item. You don't need to go search that. This right here, I don't even know what that is. Let's see what that is. All right, so that's an updated cart. So this is an ammunition for jelly ball item. I don't need to index that. Your soccer darts, I wouldn't index that. Reset orders, don't worry about that. Let's enlarge this to 25. Let's see what else we got. I don't need to do the cart. I don't need to do blue teeth. That's an item. Your sitemap is this is uploaded. Your sitemap is uploaded. I've never seen it on the pages here, but your sitemap is uploaded through over here. So don't worry about doing that if it's showing up. I don't usually don't have that show up. All right, Wickham Park Bounce House Rentals. That's a landing page for a local park near him that we created. So let's make sure it's working. It is working. It's uploaded so you can kind of see what we got. Here's a little tip, guys. When you're doing the park, is go on there and put the park location. You're doing your Google business location enough. Like we want to show Google, hey, we're relevant to this local park. This client right here sets up all the time. So cheap bounce house rentals for Wickham Park. You can do that key phrase that people are searching for that. This is another video for another day, but we do not offer cheap bounce houses. So you can throw it in there and make it make sense through that, okay? All right, so #1 bounce house rentals for Wickham Park. Remember, these are H2 title tags. You want this to follow your main keyword, bounce house rentals, Wickham Park. Bounce house rentals, Dallas, Texas, whatever the city is. And then you see the other thing that goes back to the city landing pages. I'm jumping off course. I got to keep my ADD in check. So anyway, I want them to index this page. So go to test live URL. This one takes 30 seconds or so. We're going to test this page, and then we know it's live. So then we're going to request indexing. Request indexing. And like I said, we're on Google's timetable. Remember that. So go to pages. Let's go back to not indexed. And when you get into the pages with redirect, let's see what they're doing. Some of these are your HTTPS, the www, all this good stuff. So like you don't need your privacy policy indexed. You don't need your category page indexed. But now this right here, so this is a learning curve for me that I'm going to teach you right here in this. When you're making your city landing pages out, don't put the underscore, put the dash. I made all these pages out, and then I had to go in and change them all from the underscore to the dashes. This has been a year ago. And Google likes the dashes versus the underscore. So I went and changed them all out. So I don't need these pages. These pages, they basically don't exist anymore. Google's showing them. So what you can do on this is copy that and then go into your removals, go into your new request. I want to remove that. We're going to submit request, and it's, see that now? Processing request is what it's going to say. You can see I did these on February the 11th. I checked back 3 days later, and it's been removed. So, but anyway, what you want to do is you want to clean all this stuff up. Like I said, this is why SEO agencies, marketing people, this is why they charge so much. This is the technical side that you can save yourselves a ton of money. Now, please understand this. Let me get on this soapbox again for SEO. You can make these changes. And if you're not number one in your area, if you're number 5 or number 6, when you go make these changes, Google validates all the fixes, doesn't mean you're going to jump up to number 1. It's not how this works. Google bases the ranking on that based off of longevity. They base it off the credibility of your website, some other stuff, proximity, all that stuff goes into account. So please note, but you got to control everything that you can control. So if you're in a market like Atlanta, where you've got a ton of competition, or Dallas, Texas, a ton of competition, you're going to have to make blog posts every week. You're going to have to refresh content every week. You're going to have to add new content. You're going to have to outwork your competition to where if you're in an area like mine, I've only got one other guy that really is working on SEO or paying somebody to do it. So that's the only person I'm competing with. To where I was shocked the other day, I did an audit for somebody's website in New Orleans, and they had ERS, they do their SEO like 4 months ago, and they're already up there ranking in the top 1, 2, 3 spots. I was like, man, that tells me your competition sucks. So it's a good thing for you. But this is where if I was hired out for a website and I was working for a bounce house company in Atlanta, I would have to charge a lot more than if I'm just getting somebody started out and you've only got a couple websites that are ranking. So it's all relative. So anyway, when you're doing your research on your area, make sure you get out there and you're going to see how hard it is. Don't get detoured because you see 1 or 2 really good competitors. Most people won't do the work. Most people are not in that 5% who actually will go and watch this video and actually go implement the work. So anyway, that is it, guys. There's other things. Of course, your sitemap. I've already done a video on this. This right here is showing that it could not fetch this. It is fetching it. I've already verified that. You can see it was submitted February 11th. It's been submitted before then. It says it can't, it's not fetched. It is fetched. And I know that because there are 70 pages indexed. This is the problem with ERS. I've worked on this and worked on this and worked on this. This site it is fetched. This is the only client I've ever had do this. Matter of fact, you can see, let me swap over here. I want to show you what it looks like under. Let's look at Rock and Rollins sitemaps. Success. That's what you should see. Let's go to my dumpster rental business. That's a bad example. Here's what it looks like if you have to submit it. You're going to put your website in with the HTTPS and then sitemap.xml. Click submit, submitting sitemap. Sitemap submitted successfully. I don't know why this wasn't done. I've already done this, and for some reason, it was coming off. See, usually sometimes that'll take a minute for it to be success. But anyway, you can see my main business. You can see 142 pages. I went through and deleted a lot of web content. This is a lesson for a different day, but real quick, you don't have to do multiple pages, city landing pages for like Bounce House. You don't have to do Jumpy House or Moonwalk. Google's smart enough to know that that's a bounce house. So just do your ones. I was going in making content for every single city with inflatable rental, jumpy house rental, moonwalk rental, spacewalk rental, and Google ended up tagging me for some spam, and so I went and cleaned this up. So this used to be, as a matter of fact, I won't go into it, but it used to be 250 or 260, and I cleaned all that up. So um, anyway, you can get into some other stuff, core website vitals. This is going to show you how many good URLs you have. It is something I don't spend a lot of time in. Your HTTPS. Um, this is all with your SSL and all that good stuff. So don't worry about this stuff. Don't mess with any of this. Your product snippets. You don't have to deal. You'll never mess with any of that. Shopping tab listings. Do not do this. This is for national or nationwide products. Do not set this up. This will take your products out of your Google business listing. So do not do this. Anyway, I have veered off too much, guys. I've gotten out of hand. So anyway, hope you guys found value in this.